So just when you thought you could relax this Wednesday and wait for Transformer Thursday tomorrow with all the big reveals and listings and pre-orders and stuff, it looks like there's even more stuff that is slowly trickling out there. A Australian board game website by the name of Pop Culture Cha, I believe I'm pronouncing that properly, they showed off a brand new Hasbro Gaming Monopoly spin-off. We have and this one's really exciting, a Monopoly Beast Wars Transformers that is going to be coming very soon. According to this website, you could order it right now and have it shipped out. I don't know if this is a pre-order or not. But the point is that this gives us our first look of what is going to be a Beast Wars Transformers Monopoly game. Clearly, a whole bunch of stuff that was planned to be coming out in June and July when Rise of the Beasts was going to be coming out in 2022. So it's a lot of that Beast Wars related product that was planned for that time to be all around a Beast Wars related movie. But this is pretty exciting stuff. It looks really, really cool. The package art is using the old Beast Wars trading card game package art, or the mutating card game as it was called back in the day. All the other art assets that are used on this is essentially 1995, 1996 box art stuff. So those season 1 characters pretty much. Or for the actual board game itself on the board, screenshots from the show for all the different properties and everything. So what's really cool is, much like a lot of the other Transformer-related board games based on pre-existing board games like Transformers Risk, or Transformers, what was another one that I played a while back that was different? Oh, Stratego. They always put a little bit of a different Transformers element on them, that it's not just that board game skinned as Transformers. So this time around, it looks like there's a bunch of extra elements that are included here that make it a little different. Now, number one, the average Monopoly board game usually has only 5 metal pieces, sometimes 6, and it just has the hotels and the houses, and then the cardboard stuff, the community chest, the chance cards, and the property cards. That's it. This one comes with a whole bunch of stuff. That clearly means that there's going to be a completely different kind of gameplay to it. Number one, first of all, we start off with, there's 14 different play pieces. So you have alt modes and robot modes. You have Optimus Primal, Rat Trap, Cheetor, Dinobot, Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron, Blackarachnia, and Waspinator. And all of those guys also in their Season 1 alt modes. So you also get, Ape Optimus Primal, Rat Trap, Cheetah, Cheetor, Velociraptor, Dinobot, T-Rex Megatron, Black Widow, Blackarachnia, and Waspinator. So there's probably going to be some kind of a transformation element. The fact that there's 2 different kinds of diecast counters for them, where there's probably going to be some advantages, probably movement advantages. I wouldn't be surprised. But also on top of it, it looks like the hotels and the houses are replaced with Energon Cubes and Energon Crystals. But then there's extra elements here. There's also these 7 diecast Stasis Pod tokens and a golden disc token. And according to the listing here, it's a chase to obtain Stasis Pods and wield the golden disc. So there's probably an extra gameplay element involved in this outside of just owning property like most Monopoly games are. There's probably some very different play at this. And of course, the community chest and the chance cards are now Maximal and Predacon cards, and they all have art from the box art from 1995 and 1996. No doubt you're going to flip one over and it's going to say, hey, Megatron, shoots you in the chest, lose $200 or something. They'll probably say something like that. What I also really dig about this is all the locations are locations from the original show using screenshots from the original mainframe show. And you get cool locations like the first one is the Rock Bridge, when Optimus Primal and Dinobot had their first little battle. You have the Floating Mountain when Pterosaur got his, powered up Energon in the episode Power Surge. You have the Vok floating island. You have the Standing Stones. You got the Biodome. A lot of really cool stuff here. I really dig it. I really dig it a lot. What's funny, though, is I guess we'll call it the Boardwalk, like the most coveted, boardwalk, and I forget what the other one was called, the other blue one. But the two most coveted parts of the board, both of those are labeled as the Maximal base and the Predacon base, which is funny because then also on the board, which is supposed to be the railroads, you have the Axelon, which is the Maximal base. You have the Dark Side, which is the Predacon base. But you also have the Arc and the Nemesis, or the Nemesis, as Megatron called it. So this is pretty cool. I really like this a lot. Monopoly has always been one of those games I've always played but never finished because it always took so long. But it looks like there's going to be an extra element to this that's going to probably make it more exciting. Again, I get a feeling there's probably going to be something involved collecting the Stasis Pods, getting more characters. That's probably why there's 14 different pieces here, as opposed to the standard 5 that Monopoly normally has, or sometimes 6. So maybe there's going to be something involved there. Getting the golden disc, what does that pertain? Is there going to be some kind of power-up element in relation to that? Who knows? But it's really cool. The listing here, otherwise, like the description for it doesn't say much. The only thing that was funny was they mentioned it's brimming with 90s nostalgia and introduces new fans to the exciting twist of the classic Transformers. So I like how it kind of recognizes how it was a popular 90s brand that brought back Transformers. And I also like how they mention here, you get, Optimus Primal and Megatron, as well as new characters with famous namesakes. So I guess like Dinobot would be one example of that, because the rest of them, I mean, Blackarachnia wasn't a famous namesake from before, neither was Waspinator, neither was Cheetor, neither was Rat Trap. It's just really Optimus Primal, Prime, and Megatron. But I love this. I think this looks really cool. I'm very excited about this. I just like that it uses that classic box art. The box art itself, again, that's a very rare asset of art that was like not used very much. It was pretty much used with Milton Bradley board games. Milton Bradley puzzles and the Mutating Beast Wars board game. That's literally about it that art was used for. Everything else is box art, so I like it a lot. Now let's talk about price. So on this website, it's currently listing at $80 Australian dollars. With exchange, that comes to about 57 USD. Now, that's probably still not a proper representation of what they're going to be asking for this. Now, keep in mind, the average standard Monopoly, if you went to Walmart right now, is between $19 and $20. But the standard Monopoly that you would buy right now in Walmart for $19 to $20 has 5 metal pieces, just the hotels and the houses and the cardboard stuff. That's it. It's very standard. This one's coming with 14 player tokens, 7 diecast Stasis Pod tokens, and the golden disc thing. So there's a lot more metal involved. There's a lot more plastics involved. So I'm pretty sure that's going to pump up the price a little bit. Not to mention it's based off of a brand, which I'm pretty sure they could use an excuse to put up the price a little bit as opposed to standard Monopoly, even though it's a brand they own. So there's no licensing costs there. But it is fascinating. It is very fascinating. I'm predicting this is probably going to be, my guess, $39.99. That's my guess. It's going to be like that. And in all honesty, for a board game that you're going to be playing indefinitely until the end of time, and if you're going to want to play Monopoly and you're a Transformer fan, you have this option. I mean, I'm down for that. I still feel one of the greatest Transformer board games of all time, and people never talk about it, is the Transformers Armada board game. Fantastic tabletop board game that has tons of replay value and strategy. And this will be another thing too, because if it has some Transformers strategy element to it, that's going to be really fun because everyone plays Monopoly. And considering we're Transformer fans, that's just another great element to it. Hopefully we learn more about this. This might be related to the franchise news we're going to be getting tomorrow and why this stuff leaked out today, because Australia is a day ahead of us. But we'll find out soon enough. We will find out soon enough tomorrow. Again, tune in tomorrow, and we'll have all the updates on what's happening with Hasbro Pulse, Transformers, and our beloved Beast Wars franchise.